Let me tell you a true life story. My daughter was murdered. She was 18 years old. But she was not aware she was gone. It took almost a month of seeing her, hearing her, finding things left around of hers. Until one day I was walking down the hallway, and she calls me to the doorway. I stop and lean against the doorframe, then she proceeds to talk to me. Now mind you, I can see her and smell her. The bathroom was damp like a shower has just been taken. She was sitting on the toilet facing backward, putting on her eye makeup. As she had a makeup mirror on the back of the toilet. I could see her goosebumps, freckles, drips from the shower still on her shoulders. Her hair was wrapped in a towel. She was looking at me through the mirror, not actually facing me. She had her mascara brush in her hand and says to me, "Mom, can you make me a doctor's appointment?" I asked her what's the matter and she tells me to look at her wrist, as she holds out the underside of her arm and said, "Look, my skin is turning a gray color." I had her arm in my hands, and ran my fingers over her skin. I told her there was nothing the doctor could do, as it was turning gray because she had died. We sat facing and holding each other crying and rocking together. Her hair that was tied up in a towel had fallen off. I could smell her freshly shampooed hair, taste her tears, looked into her eyes. Then the brightest blue bright and white light engulfed us. She was gone, and I was now in my bedroom sitting straight up crying. Was it a dream? Number. I got up off the bed, walked down the same hallway towards the bathroom, which had the door open and the light was on. On the floor was a wet towel. A shower had just been taken. There was still moisture on the mirror. My daughter was gone. I had to tell her she was gone. So, yes, sometimes we do not cross over, until we are told that we have died. By the way, it was just my son and I living in the house at that time, and he was spending the night at a friend's house. He had just walked in the front door. I asked him if he had taken a shower and left a wet towel on the floor, but he said no. The bright light does come naturally to all who has passed on for approximately 72 hours after death. As the wake nears end and the third day approaches, the white light is getting smaller and smaller. So when the casket is getting lowered into the ground or the funeral is coming to a close, they're going into the light. Now, if a spirit chooses to stay here after their white light closes up, that's how they get stuck and can't find that light again. Sometimes spirits won't cross over because they don't know what's going to happen, the risk of uncertainty, and fear of losing and thinking they would not be able to see their wife, kids, and family members anymore could make a soul choose to just stay. Maybe there's money buried in the attic and the deceased wants his wife to find out where and get it. Maybe it's the deceased person's special belongings. Items they don't want to leave behind and had no choice, so they stay behind to see where their items go. If it's a home they love, they'll stay behind to see how you take care of it and who the new owners are. If it's a tragic accident, sometimes they don't realize they're dead and won't accept their death before their time. They won't leave their wife and kids. If they lived a horrible life, they would rather linger on this plane than face judgment. And that's just some of the reasons souls will stay behind. They don't realize when you cross over you can see your family. Come and go from their realm to visit family on earth. Can go into a loved one's dreams as a form of communication. If a loved one is in your dreams, that's a great sign. It means they've crossed over. That's another gift from God to be able to go into a loved one's dreams. Earthbound spirits can't do that. They also don't realize when they don't cross over they do more harm than good. Earthbound spirits need energy to survive or they go dormant, so they'll pull energy from the living, therefore leaving them sick with respiratory infections, colds, and constant exhaustion. When they cross over they can come and go as they please and not make anyone sick. But they don't realize this. Sometimes when a professional comes to clear your home, they'll talk to the deceased and tell them this. So it's always a good idea to go into the light. If you do feel the need to stay, maybe you have unfinished business. Just remember, you can go to any funeral parlor and use another deceased person's white light. Not many knows that. Remember, what you know in life you bring with you to the other side. You don't lose your memories or personality. What you were in life, you are as a spirit too, regardless if you're in your physical body or not. No soul can be imprisoned if they choose not to, and earth is not a prison. A soul can choose to stay back and keep roaming the earth after death, but will surely cross over. It will be only a matter of time. Also, a soul can choose to reincarnate or move on to a higher plane of existence, depending on the frequency which the soul is vibrating on. For our souls have total power and is in total control of all its existence, which has no end and it's forever and ever. Amen.